I'm oppressed. I'm in fear for my goddamn life under Trump. I want to get off this goddamn roller coaster. I want off of it. Every day we have to live literally in fear of what Trump is going to do next. Isn't that oppression? I want to go somewhere else too. I'll go to South Africa. South Africa, y'all can take me. I promise I won't act like those white South Africans did. I'll behave. Take me. I want to go somewhere else too. Because under Trump, life is a living hell. I don't want to pay my mortgage anymore. I don't want to pay it. It's too high. I don't want to pay my car payments too high. I don't want to pay these bills too high. Gas, groceries is too high. Let me go somewhere else too. And unlike the South Africans, I have skills. Take me somewhere else. Take care of me. God damn it, I'm ready to go.
Yo, what's really going on here? Trump just dropped a bomb saying he wants to bring in white South Africa refugees because they are facing genocide and losing their land in South Africa. And trust me, Black Americans have not been quiet about this. They are going crazy. So today, we are breaking down the claims and the reactions. Buckle up because this one is wild, controversial, and honestly, you don't want to miss it. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from our videos.
Good morning. This is for the South Africans who are going to be entering the United States. This is just a public service announcement. I just wanted to make you aware that the Black people who were students during Apartheid, we're grandmas and grandpas now, and we have the ear of Gen Z. One more thing. I also want to let you know that our president, he has Secret Service. And you will not. I also want to tell you that Black people over here are empowered. These are just public service announcements. When you get here, sit your ass down and don't touch nothing. Because you don't have Secret Service.
So let me get this straight. Trump banned Muslims, caged Black and brown kids, and called Haiti a shithole. But somehow he's rolling out the carpet for white South Africans, who, mind you, claim they're being oppressed by the very people that they oppressed for generations. So this is not refugee policy. It's plantation nostalgia, dressed up as immigration reform. This entire push to rescue South African farmers is built on a narrative, not facts. Yeah, there's some violence in South Africa. Yeah, some white farmers have been attacked. But the majority of the victims, they're not white. And the attacks aren't racially targeted. They're part of a broader crime crisis. South Africa has deep issues, yes. But this ain't some ethnic cleansing of white people. This lie got amplified by conservative media, white nationalist forums, and people who think land redistribution is oppression. When really, it's just justice knocking on the door. So let's be honest about what this really is. It's America offering comfort to people who feel uncomfortable with equality. That's it. Because these so-called refugees are being fast-tracked for protection. Black asylum seekers from war-torn nations are being detained, deported, and ignored. They're not being offered farms and safety. They're being offered ICE and silence. This has never been about safety. It's about whiteness being treated like it's in danger anytime it's not in power. But here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to let people run from the consequences of apartheid, land here, and act like they're victims of a woke world gone mad. No. You don't get to gentrify racial trauma across borders. You don't get to weaponize your discomfort with progress and call it persecution. And if you're feeling displaced by land reform, good, because the land wasn't yours to begin with. So if you think Trump's weak attempt to play savior gives you the green light to come over here and start disrespecting people, think again, because the rest of us, we don't play like that. Go find you something safe to do, because bringing apartheid to a new zip code is the fastest way to find out this ain't the America you thought you were walking into. Stay safe.
Hey guys, just a word of advice to the white people that came from South Africa that are coming to America, the land of the free. You're coming to America. Welcome to America. I heard you're here now. Here's a word of advice from me to y'all. I know y'all going to be settling in, I heard it's going to be in Idaho and North Carolina. That's where y'all going to be settling. Just a word of advice. The black people here, are not like the black folk that you're used to in Africa, the ones that were working for you, the ones that you were talking down on. The African Americans over here, you better not start with them black folk over here. You better watch your back. They're different. You're not going to have maids. You're going to do your own dishes. You're going to clean your own house. You're going to cook your own food unless if you can afford to go to the restaurant and eat some restaurant food. That's just a word of advice. I mean, I just thought I would just, be nice enough to share that little bit of info with y'all. Because in Africa, y'all got maids cooking for you, cleaning for you, doing your yard, doing everything for you. We don't got none of that over here. Because over there, you were paying them little money, change money. Over here, you want a maid, you're going to pay them $20 an hour or more. Because it's a job. Anyway, I just thought I would just share that information with y'all. Have fun in America.
I just came up here to talk shit about y'all president because I'm just trying to figure out why he's letting the white South Africans into the United States, claiming that they are refugees and that they are oppressed. If you know anything about the history about the apartheid, you will know that that is absolutely not true. White South Africans own 70% of the land in South Africa because they were what? Say it with me, class. Colonizers! You lent liquors. Okay, so now they're coming over here, but Consuela and Enrique, they gotta go. I was watching a debate from 1956 and 1957. There was 4 students debating, one from Nigeria, one from Ghana, one from Ethiopia, and one from South Africa. And you know what they were debating? About this apartheid. I don't know why it's so hard for white South African people to acknowledge the fact that they stole some shit. I hope that I pray that they are freed from the chains of being a colonizer because y'all did.
This is some of the most racist shit I've ever heard of. In 1913, South Africa had white supremacists running the country, and they created apartheid, which created segregation and discrimination laws against black South Africans. It was whites only South African businesses, whites only South African movie theaters, whites only South African swimming pools. South Africa was on that racist shit just like America treated black folks. So in 1913, white South Africans took over South Africa with force. White South Africans stole land owned by black South Africans. Fast forward to 2025. 3 of Trump's biggest supporters are 3 of the most richest men on the planet. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and David Sachs are 3 billionaires that fully support Trump. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and David Sachs are all white South Africans who were born in South Africa, white supremacy, and apartheid. Elon Musk is a white South African white supremacist. South Africa now has a black president. This South African president wants equality in South Africa. He wants the racism to stop, and he wants everyone to be treated equally. Trump and Elon Musk heard about this black South African president wanting equality. Trump immediately stopped all funding to South Africa. There are only 7% of white people in South Africa. But those white people own 70% of the land in South Africa because they stole most of that land from black South Africans. The new black South African president put a new law in place to right the wrongs that were done to black South Africans that had land stolen from them. Just like when European settlers stole America from the natives. Because the South African president wants to give back land that white South Africans stole from black South Africans, that's why Trump and his administration are saying white South Africans are being persecuted and done wrong. But white South Africans are not under persecution.
I mean, the facts are there is no systematic.
It's like we're living in Twilight Zone. I don't get it. We're going to deport people. We're going to snatch them up from their homes, regardless if anybody shows proof of who they are and anything else. Like, ICE agents doesn't have to prove who they are, and people don't have to prove if they have citizenship or green card status or anything that protects them to stay in this country. Sometimes you could be a U.S. citizen and get deported on accident, I guess. And then even when you find out, I guess it's just above our heads now. On top of all of this, we're now giving refugee status to white South Africans. What?
It has nothing to do with their race. I'm not sure why you guys are saying this, but it has nothing to do with their race. It has something to do with actually qualifying to be a refugee. We had no problem with Ukrainians coming over here. What are Ukrainians? Are they not white? Why, yes, they are. Okay. So now that that's settled, the issue is that these really are not refugees. And the people who really and truly do need the money and the shelter and the food, they aren't getting it. Because guess who's getting it? People who don't. And when I talk about people who really need it, first of all, there are people inside the country who need it already. And then there are people who actually qualify to be refugees because their countries are war torn. Several Afrikaners are on TikTok and they've come on my post and they never ever say they're in fear of their life. Never. Only thing they say is, we need a job. That does not qualify anyone for refugee status. It doesn't. White Afrikaners are on video, on TikTok, saying that you guys are fabricating. The entire globe knows this is a joke. The entire globe. Every country knows this is a joke.
Let's be clear. This is top-tier racism from Trump. Using the idea of white refugees to push his agenda is just another way to ignore the real victims. The true people suffering are the black Africans who have faced centuries of brutal oppression, from apartheid to land theft, violence, and discrimination at the hands of these Afrikaners. While Trump cries genocide for white South Africans, millions of black Africans continue to endure terrible injustices that barely get attention. This is not about saving refugees. It's about protecting white privilege. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your support truly means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you more insightful content. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.